All right. So we're recording now.
Alrighty.
Great. So first, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming through for our second Seed Day workshop. And without further ado, I'm gonna share my screen and open up this PowerPoint. Um, Bear with me just a moment, guys. Okay. Okay. All right. And let me take off this. All right. And let me. All right. Can everybody see this okay? Everybody see the screen fine? All right, great.
Yes,
Great.
I can see it.
All right, perfect. So, today's workshop, second workshop of the day, we're talking about scheduling and organizing, right? One of the most critical elements of managing our time. And this workshop is really, I love talking about time management and talking about organization because I feel like it's one of the biggest, um, I think it's one of the biggest issues we all face. Um, you know, when I speak with my students all the time, and we talk about success plans and we talk about, hey, what is one thing that you feel like you can do better? And what is one thing you feel like can take you to the next level in this semester? Um, Time management always comes up and never fails. Um, and so organizing our time, creating a schedule is a conversation I'm used to having a lot. And so this is really cool that we can kind of put it in a more formal type of format that we can all discuss. All right. So this slide, I'm just talking about a few terms that I think is important for all of us to know. And the first term is organization. So organization just means to give structure. And we all know that structure is important to our lives. And we'll talk about why that is more in a second. But organization, providing structure, providing coordination. Um, and when we talk about organization, there's a lot of things in our lives that organization could help us out, whether it's organizing our room, organizing the clutter, our cars. I mean, there's so many things in our lives that probably need a little bit of our attention in terms of organizing. But today, when we talk about organization, we're really talking about organizing our time in terms of time management. The next two terms, we've got routine and then we've got schedule. So
Le dije,
routine,
¿para qué tú tienes tanto trabajo y tanto dinero y tú no tienes una persona que te maneje, no tienes una persona que te compre los
somebody
mercados?
might need to
¿Para
put
qué tú quieres
themselves on
eso? Le
mute.
digo, tú tienes 84 años. Yo en la...
Somebody might, okay, great. Excellent. Has happened to me a few times. Okay, so routine and schedule. So what's the difference between these two? So routine is just a custom, a regular course of procedure, something that becomes second nature to us. It's usually very simple, not a lot of complexity to it, and it's a way of organizing our time. Um, can somebody maybe give me some examples of like something that maybe is a routine in your life?
I'll say like a good one would be like either like your meals, like school, or what's
Right.
it called? Your work, just because there's a set time you have to do it.
Exactly, man. Like these are routines. It's like they're kind of they're sort of second nature, but they help us organize the day. Like when you wake up, like when I wake up in the morning, I am brushing my teeth, taking a shower. Like it's a weird thing, but when I take a shower, I can't just do it like silently. I always put on like a podcast or something so that there's something playing in the background. So yeah, routines are these things, these kind of rhythms to our lives that we get into, but that are really important for us, for kind of giving structure to our day. Then we get into the scheduling. And so when I was looking at the definition of scheduling, it was really cool because it said a plan or procedure usually written for a proposed objective. And so we're organizing our time to achieve a goal. So what do you guys think might be an example of a schedule in your life that's maybe like different from what a routine is in comparison?
The schedule, for me, like I'll say like the gym. I always try to schedule it in like, an hour a day,
Okay.
like during like my free time.
What's your goal?
My main goal, my main goal is essentially to be about like 195 in muscle. That's it.
I knew it. I knew he was gonna give it the exact weight goal of his. It's hilarious. But yeah, like, and some of you also maybe you schedule like meetings with people. Like you've got a scheduled meeting that you have next week. Like I just had a meeting a couple of days ago with my pastor because we're talking about, like a little event that we're going to be doing, and that we want it to be successful. So there's a goal involved with that. So with scheduling, there's a little bit more structure. There's a little bit more of a concrete plan of action. So this is great, guys. Okay, so let's keep moving. All right. So why get organized? Why make a schedule? Does anybody besides Jonathan want to maybe take a stab at this question? This is kind of like just an open discussion question to maybe get some feedback from you guys on like what do you think for you personally is like a reason why getting organized makes sense? Looks like we got somebody in the okay.
Hi, my name is Jenny.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi. For me, it's very important make one schedule. For I make a lot of things in the day. For my work, for my school, for everything in the life. I make a schedule for my doctor, for I do for everything in the life. I need to schedule in this country in my life. It's for organization. Everything for organization.
Excellent.
You see the two pictures, and the first picture is very organization. In the second is one disaster totally.
I like how you noticed that.
Yes, exactly. I like it the first picture.
No, but I love that. It's like, you want your life to be organized. You want your life to be productive, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right. So all right. So, I think a lot of us, when we think about why we want to get organized and why we want to make a schedule, I think the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of us, even as students, is that we want to be productive. That we want to be able to get more things done. Oh, we got something from Tashina. She says that for me, it reduces my stress to be more organized, setting goals, being productive, and prioritizing. So yeah, that key word is like, we want to be productive. We want to be able to get as many things done as possible. And that's really good. That's a really good reason to want to get organized. But I do want to explore some other reasons why it could be important, and it could make sense to be more organized in our lives and to make a schedule. So let's go over those. So here's a quick little realization I had yesterday when I was thinking about this today. Doing more stuff. Productivity results from keeping a schedule, but it's not the real reason why being organized is good for you, right? So basically, this realization I had was that, productivity is kind of the end result. It's kind of an outcome from us living a more organized life, for us getting us, for us being and having a schedule. But it's actually not the real reason why being organized is good for us. So let's get into that a little bit more. All right. So, practical benefits of a routine. Let's get into this a little bit. So, routines create structure for us. And we've talked about that a little bit already. They create, structure in our lives, so that we kind of feel like we have some sort of control in our life. Like things aren't just happening to us, we're actually making things happen. All right. They give us a sense of accomplishment. Routines typically have a beginning and an end. We can plan our day around being able to prioritize them and accomplish them for ourselves and our families. So yeah, like for example, when Jonathan goes to the gym, maybe he has a schedule where he's going like 2 or 3 times a week. When he's going and he's making sure he shows up for the gym, he gets that feeling of accomplishment, like, hey, I'm getting a little bit closer to where I want to be at. Or say you have a simple routine in the morning where, hey, I'm just making sure I'm eating breakfast. You're going to have that feeling of accomplishment where, hey, I'm ready for the day. I've done everything that I can do to be ready for this day. All right. So here's a couple more practical benefits. They let us know how we're doing. You ever have an experience where you usually go out and take out the trash Monday or Tuesdays, or usually go and do something and somebody notices it? And then if they don't notice that that you do that thing, they might come looking for you and be like, man, that person is not doing that thing that they usually do. I wonder if they're okay. That's one of the benefits of having routine. They let people around us know how we are doing. So people around us know what's going on with us, and they let us know how we're doing. In here we've got an example being the pandemic. Pre-pandemic, I'm sure a lot of you, your routine was a little bit different than it is now. And if anybody wants to share a routine that pre-pandemic, how it changed post-pandemic, feel free. If anybody has a routine.
I don't have to turn back every time I forget a mask. So you just walk into a store, but you have to get a mask before you leave the house or something. Leave the house, leave the car, you have to make sure you have that mask.
That's so good. Like before the pandemic, it was just, I'm going to the store. But during the pandemic, it's like our routines changed. Where now it's like, it's second nature for me to like just grab a mask to go into the store with. And even though things might have changed now where they're back to where it's like, you can go in without a mask, but your routine changed. And you started a new routine where it was like, man, I need to make sure I grab that mask before I go in. All right, cool. So yeah, these are some benefits of a routine. They let us know how we're doing. They let people around us know how we're doing. They create structure for us, and they give us a sense of accomplishment. Cool. So that's great. So we know routines have a benefit for us other than us just being more productive. They're actually good for us. And in this next slide, they're not just good for us in the sense of practically speaking, where they help us psychologically and give structure for us mentally, but they also have health impacts for us as well. So, when you keep a routine, when you make a schedule, you're not just doing it to be more productive, you're actually doing it for your health. And so let's just go over these one by one real quick. So, no routine, no bueno, babon. That's Creole right there for any of y'all that didn't notice. Working on my Creole, y'all. So let's go over these. So stress. When you don't have a routine, it often means that you have a constant worry of when will I get it all done. Poor sleep. Without a daily routine, you might find yourself playing catch up with yesterday's to-do list. Man, that is very true for me. One of the biggest surprises that I found was this idea about poor eating. When I don't organize my day, when I don't set aside time to accomplish different things, I find myself running out of time. And when you don't have the time to make yourself a meal, make yourself a healthy meal, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, guys? Who wants to say it?
Yeah, if you don't make it, if you don't make the time or set yourself first healthy meal, you can always you're gonna make bad choices. And also it will kind of tie it into finance, right? Essentially, you'll save more money by doing food prep or planning out your meals, and just save more time with that.
Look at Jonathan over here going for the extra credit, trying to link two workshops together. I love it. All right, so exactly. I mean, that's exactly right. When we have routines, when we have an organized life, when our time is more organized, we're going to make better choices, including better choices about our health, including better choices about what we eat. So yeah, when you don't have a routine, unhealthy diets become the norm if there isn't time scheduled for grocery shopping. Unhealthy substitutes become the next best food option. So good. Poor physical condition. I mean, if you're working out, if you're looking to get in shape, that requires you planning ahead. Nobody, I don't know anybody that leaves work after a long day, 9 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever it is you're working, who just magically says, you know what, I feel like going to the gym today. Nobody does that. But when you're disciplined to create a schedule, to set out time in advance that says, hey, I'm devoting this to being in shape, then you're more likely to be able to make it to the gym after work, even if you don't really feel like it. And then lastly, ineffective use of time. Often no routine means you simply run out of time, leaving things undone and not making the most of your time. So basically, from all of this, what we're seeing is that, yes, productivity is a great thing when it comes to reasons why we should schedule our life, why we should organize our life. But the main benefits of scheduling and organizing have to do with our own self-health, whether it's our psychological health, whether it's the need for structure in our lives, or whether it's our physical health and our eating habits. When we organize our time, when we create schedules for ourselves, we set ourselves up to be healthier people overall, not to just be productive, but to be healthier people. And because we're healthier, we're more productive because of that. All right. So earlier we talked about how routines versus scheduling. That scheduling is a little bit more focused in terms of uh, you know looking for goals to accomplish, and our schedules kind of revolving around our goals. So with that said, does anybody want to volunteer what your academic goals are?
Yeah, I can volunteer. So
Talk to me, Jonathan.
yeah, so my academic goals is at the moment I'm trying to have over 3.0 before I get accepted to my master's program. Like that's like my
Okay.
main thing.
All right. You've got a GPA goal in mind, academically speaking, that you want to reach.
Yes.
Love it. Anybody else? Anybody else have some academic goals for this semester, or maybe long-term academic goals that you want to share? Oh, somebody wrote in the chat. Okay, May wants to transfer to a university. Love it. I'm guessing to earn a bachelor's degree, or to get like, some type of 4 year, or maybe even more. Maybe you want to get a master's degree. Love it. Yes. Thanks, May. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. All right. So a schedule needs a goal, you guys. Oh, somebody else is sharing. Oh, graduate from college by the summer. Love that, Jose. What? Come on. Yes, love it. Graduate from the summer, because we're trying to get that done. We've got bigger fish to fry around here. We've got big things. We've got goals. We're trying to get that 401k going. For those of you who were in the financial workshop earlier, trying to get into that career that we want, get that 401k going, that IRA, all that good stuff, some big investments. Love it. Yes. Loving these goals. Me too, Nerly. Okay, so somebody else posted something. Everybody's DeAngelis, graduate this May and transfer. Come on. Yes. Come on. Where are you, if I may ask, where are you looking to transfer, DeAngelis? Do you have a university in mind that you're looking to transfer to?
I'm looking at FSU or FAU.
Florida State? Come on. Yes. Love that. One of my old managers, she's an alumnus of Florida State. So that brings a smile. And I myself, I'm a FAU alumnus. So go FAU, Owl Nation. Let's go. All right. So a schedule needs a goal. And that speaks for itself. Make your goals specific. Make short-term and long-term goals. Set deadlines for your goals. Integrate your goals into your life. Organization helps us integrate our goals. So this is kind of a lot here, right? So, when you're thinking about scheduling stuff, I don't think all of us are really, purposely thinking about, okay, I need to make the schedule because I have a goal. It's kind of like more of a second nature thing, but it's so true. Anything that we're scheduling in our life that's important, whether it's meetings at work, or whether it's study time, or whether it's tutoring, anything that we're scheduling, usually there's some type of goal behind it. And so it's important for us to talk about goals, to talk about what our goals are, and to talk about, how our goals should look. And yes, our goals should be very specific. Like some of you in the chat, you said, hey, my goal is to graduate by this time and to transfer to a university by this time. Those are very specific goals. So those are very good goals, you know. Um, can anybody think of an example of a goal that might be kind of like not a very good goal to have? Anybody want to throw something out that maybe a goal that might not be that good, might not be very helpful? Well, I'll say this. One example of a goal that might not be very helpful is, oh, I want to be successful. You hear that from people all the time. I hear that from students a lot, is that I want to be successful. And that's great, but it's like, okay, how do you schedule that? Right? How do you create some structure around that? That's why it's so important for our goals to get more specific, right? What about peer pressure? Well, I guess my question to you, what is it about peer pressure that you want to know, May? Like, I think that's what I would ask. You're talking about peer pressure in terms of, and peer pressure how? Like people wanting you to do things, like people forcing you to do certain things or to achieve certain things that they want you to do rather than what you want to do? Okay, yeah. So when we talk about goals, we definitely want to talk about what we want for ourselves. And you're right, guys. It is true that some of us who are in school, we kind of have goals that were kind of maybe handed to us or handed down to us from other people that might not necessarily be what we want for ourselves. So this is a really important place we are in our lives where we need to kind of think about, okay, that person wants this for me, but what do I want for me? Because remember, this on this slide, it says here, we're going to be integrating our goals into our life. We're going to be organizing ourselves and structuring ourselves around these goals. So it's very important that these goals are things that we really want for ourselves, not things that maybe other people might want for us. Okay. So definitely important to think about things. Like I have had some conversation with students where it's like, hey, I'm not sure about this thing that I'm studying or doing. And, it's like, why is that? And it's like, well, it's kind of like somebody else kind of wants me to do this, but I'm not sure about it, you know? And when that happens, and when you're struggling with, man, what are my goals? What is it that I want to do? Then that's where it's really helpful to maybe do some career exploration, talk to a career coach at BC. And when you come and meet with either me or Nerly for your coaching session, we can definitely get you connected to those people. But we definitely want you guys to be setting goals that you really want, because it's important that these goals are things you want, because your schedule needs a goal. And if that goal is not something you really want, then that schedule is not going to really hold up. It's going to fall apart. Hope this helps, guys. Hope this is helpful. All right. So we're gonna watch a quick video. We've got 15 minutes left, so hopefully this doesn't take up too much of our time. But this is a really cool video, guys, because we've already talked about why it's important to we already talked about the benefits of being organized and of living a structured life, having routines, making a schedule. We've talked about why having goals are important, but we haven't talked about the how yet. How to get organized, how to become more structured, how to be able to be a person who is more organized in their life. So I think this video is really going to help address the how. So it's only like 6 minutes, so I think you guys will love it.
Everyone has experienced that overwhelming feeling that
Does
your
everybody
life
hear
is
it
one
fine?
giant mess. As a student, parent, or average person, you've got a lot
Okay, great. Everybody hears it. Great.
going on, and it can be a real challenge to get in control and stay there. So what's the best way to get your life organized? I asked Nicole from Neatnik for her advice because she is a professional organizer. It turns out there are 6 habits highly organized people have in common. What's really interesting about these top tips is you can apply them to organizing anything, not just a physical space. Now you might be wondering why you should even care about being organized. So let's see if any of these reasons blow your hair back. You'll be more focused on what you want to achieve, be able to prioritize your tasks, and set and achieve your goals more efficiently. You'll manage your time more effectively, work more economically, and be more productive. You'll be less stressed, achieve more balance in your life, and be more flexible. And you might even have more energy and enthusiasm once you've achieved freedom from chaos. Sound good? Okay, here's how to do it. Habit number 1. Keep it simple. Elaborate organizational systems are hard to maintain, and most of the time, they're not worth the effort. Whether you're organizing your sock drawer or your class notes, have as few steps as possible. Otherwise, it'll be too frustrating to maintain over time. Going crazy with a fancy color coding system might look pretty cool, but the effort can outweigh the benefits. Choose a system that's easy to use and you'll become more productive, not less. Develop routines. If there are things you have to do every day or week, create set routines about when and how you do them. This is about managing your time more effectively and saving yourself the mental effort of continual planning and rescheduling. Turn your important tasks into routines and fit the rest of your life around them, not the other way round. When is your best time to study, exercise, socialize, clean your home, or relax? Develop morning and evening routines for your regular tasks, whether it's study or putting out the recycling. Anybody's routine can get broken, but always try to get your groove back as soon as possible. Have a place for everything and put everything in its place. This might be common sense, but it's not always common practice. If you don't know where things belong, you can't put them away. You might have a shelf for all your textbooks and class notes, a special section of your closet for your winter clothes, or folders on your computer for all your assignments. So this works for physical things or digital things, or even your knowledge like I teach at Memrise Academy. Try not to put something down temporarily, but take a few extra seconds to put it where it belongs, every time. Keep a current and detailed to-do list. Don't be mistaken, it takes planning to be organised. Work backwards by starting with your end goal and then decide what smaller steps you'll follow to get there. Try to keep lists for daily tasks as well as longer-term projects. And use a central list for everything, whether it's in a physical notebook or a digital list on your computer or phone. If you write random reminders on loose pieces of paper, make sure you transfer them to your main list and keep it current. And giving yourself deadlines can help you to get things done and crossed off your list. Don't get bogged down by perfectionism. You don't have to be perfect to be organised, so don't think you need to get everything done and done exactly right. Prioritise tasks and try to learn where and how you can take shortcuts and how to get things done quickly. Be honest and think about what's really important. The end goal is progress, so it's less about perfection and more about action. Toss things daily and purge routinely. Organized people don't wait for a free weekend or an open block of time to get themselves and their lives in order. They constantly cross things off their list, throw things away, reevaluate what they own, and tidy their house in the way they operate. They may take a few minutes each night to clean off their desk, delete old files from their computer or emails from their inbox, or throw out the expired food from their refrigerator. Organizing is not a separate event, it's part of their day. And there you have it. Whether you're organizing your room or home, your computer, the way you study, the way you think, your social life, or the goals you want to achieve, these 6 habits will get you streamlined and heading in the right direction. Keep it simple. Develop routines. Have a place for everything and put everything in its place. Keep a current and detailed to-do list. Don't get bogged down by perfectionism, and toss things daily and purge routinely. If you'd like to get advice from a professional organizer on organizing your room, home, or physical space, head over to Neatnik for some more great tips. And as always, to learn more about organizing knowledge and information.
All right, guys. So, 6 habits of highly organized people. Anybody feel brave and want to share maybe something that stood out to you out of those six habits, those 6 organizing habits? Maybe one of them, maybe none of them really stood out, but maybe one of them just kind of was like, oh, that one, I didn't know that one. Don't everybody share at once, you know? Nobody interested in sharing on that one? Okay. Well, I'll tell you guys straight up. The one that really stood out to me was tossing things daily. I get a lot of email like every day, so my inbox is constantly flooding with mail. So for me to retain my sanity, it's really important that I have places for that email to go. So it's important for me to kind of just like toss emails that really have no bearing really on what I'm doing. So, whether it's like announcements that have nothing to do with my department or my students or anything, or things for my students, I kind of toss them. And then another habit that sticks out to me is the whole everything in its place, because some emails are really important and I want to make sure I can access them again at another time. So it's important for me to create some folders and just kind of organize what goes in them, so that when those emails come in, I put them in the different folders that correspond to what those emails are about, so that whenever I need to get an email like that, I can get right to that folder. Everything is in its place. So important. All right.
In your memory.
All right. Anybody have any questions? Questions so far about anything? About any of the habits? Feel free to jump in and ask something if you're
So this only the one I have a question about is like use your syllabus. Like, you mean like we make our own syllabus, or you're talking more about like a school syllabus we get?
Oh, well, you're getting ahead of me, I think, Jonathan, because I just jumped to stuff I say a lot.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is kind of a companion to the 6 habits, and you'll see some of those habits are repeated. Like, for example, stuff I say a lot: make a to-do list, right? Keep a planner. And yeah, when I say use your syllabus, I actually mean use the paper syllabus that you're given by your professors. And when I say use your syllabus, what I mean is Your syllabus usually has like all the due dates of your assignments, all that information is provided on the syllabus. And it's such a great trove of information that you can then add to your planner. Some more stuff I say a lot as we're getting to the, oh my gosh, we only got 4 minutes left. That flew. So set appointments ahead of time. This is something I've really been talking about a lot in my most recent coaching appointments. You guys know how it goes. April comes around, you know, finals time. You're trying to get an appointment with your advisor. They're booked, like straight booked heavy. Like you can't get, there's no time slot available with them. You end up having to go to the answer center, speak with some random advisor that's not your advisor. We can get ahead of that. And the principles we're talking about today can help you get ahead of that. And what that means is scheduling ahead of time. What is your goal? You want to graduate? You want to get good grades? You want to get the 3.2? And you know that you need to see your advisor to make sure that your goals happen. And so in order to do that, you need to schedule those appointments with your advisor, and you want to schedule them ahead of time if you can. So start scheduling an appointment with your advisor now, one for next month in April, and so on. And the same principle can apply with, say, tutoring. Make your tutoring appointments ahead of time. Put them in, put those dates into your planner. And then lastly, use your phone to help you. Use your phone as like a secondary tool. So you have the dates in your planner, the due dates of your assignments. Let your phone be a secondary helper to provide alerts for when due dates are coming up for different assignments. For when due dates are coming up, when meetings are coming up, your phone can be like a personal assistant to your scheduling goals. Now, lastly, I had a couple quiz questions if anybody wants to jump in on these quiz questions. What is a schedule? A customary or regular course of procedure. B, any fixed or conventional method for doing something. C, a method for recording appointments. Or D, a plan or procedure usually written for a proposed objective. What y'all think? Put in the chat. What y'all think? D, C, okay. D, we got D. Okay, we got D. Oh, we got B. Jonathan Sebastian put B. Okay, and we got C. All right. Well, the correct answer on that one is D. Letter D, plan of procedure, usually written for a proposed objective. Letter B, any fixed or conventional method for doing something. That's actually the definition of a routine. So you see a schedule is just a little bit more different than what we've got with a routine. Number 2, which is a benefit of routines? A, better sleep. B, a sense of accomplishment. C, healthier eating. Or D, all of the above. Let's see those answers in the chat. Let's see what everybody thinks. What is a benefit of routines? Look at y'all, so smart. I love it. I'm getting a little tear in my eye. Love it, guys. And then last question of the day, last quiz question we got. Which is not a habit of organized people? A, develop a routine. B, sit in the front of class. C, toss things you don't need. Or D, have a place for everything. Which is not a habit? Which is not a habit? Okay. Okay, we got C, we got B. Okay, all right, B, C. All right, y'all. So actually, A, C, and D are all habits of organized people that are described in the video. So it is not B. B is not a habit of organized people. Even though, yes, sitting in the front of class is a good thing. So that was a trick question for y'all. All right, guys. So before we go today, we're opening up the floor if anybody has questions about what we've discussed. And I'm going to stop sharing for a minute so that I can get the link for the evaluation for you guys. And feel free to come on to the mic and ask a question if anybody has a question. Feel free to ask a question. That concludes our workshop for scheduling and organizing. If anybody has questions, feel free to ask. I don't know if Nerly, you had anything that you wanted to add as well. Jonathan, you're very welcome. Make sure to complete your evaluation, everybody. Nerly.
Well, I didn't have anything to add, but I just wanted to say thank you for leading this workshop. I wish we could give you a hand, like maybe put an emoji in the chat, clapping hands, something, because Thomas did a really good job, right? He did a really great job leading this workshop. We thank you, Thomas, for all the valuable information. So yes, we've already put the evaluation links in the chat. So you guys can go ahead and complete that evaluation. We'll hang out a little bit here in my Zoom room. So if you do have questions, you can go ahead and ask. If you want to complete your evaluation while we're still on, you can do that too. And then Thomas, you can let me know when I can stop recording. And then I'll just be the DJ. I'll start some music so that we can have some music playing while we're doing the evaluation stuff.
I'm very upset because I received an email or a text that says the workshop starts at 2:00.
Okay. Yes, Martine, the workshops, they started at 12 o'clock today. 12 o'clock was when the workshops began. 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. was financial, personal finance. And then we had scheduling and organizing from 1 to 2. It's okay though. We recorded both workshops, so we're going to make those available so that you'll still be able to benefit from them. I mean, that personal finance workshop was great. So it's going to be a lot of great information, and we're going to make it available for you through D2L.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right. Let me go ahead and stop recording.